Okay guys, here's the next video for investing in numismatics as well as silver. I'm going to do two separate videos. This video is going to first be talking about the importance of knowledge and books, and it's also going to share a couple of my experiences dealing with this stuff. And then the next video I'm hoping to get done and will be released after this video. The video will start to follow the ideas behind developing a relationship with different dealers and thought processes involving that. Alright, so here we go. We got this giant World Coin Books 29th edition. It's from 2002, which is right around what I like to, like I was already telling you guys, I like to carry my 2004 book around, and I use it as a good price guide of what's a good deal nowadays. It's pretty much the same thing with this. I know if a coin, and basically it's all done by minages with numismatics anyways, right? So if you look up a coin and you see that it has way less minages of that coin, and the coin is worth 50 bucks back in 2002, and the other coins are only worth 10 bucks, then you know that it's going to be worth more than 50 bucks nowadays. So that's basically why I use the 2002 book, and then I have a more up-to-date book, but this is the one I started with, and this is the one I still enjoy using. It's the one I'm very familiar with. I really like this book. As you can see, I have a few varieties of the red book. What's really awesome about owning a few different years of the red book is you can actually go through and look at what coins are increasing in value from 2004 to 2011. 1916D back in 2004 was for a good $550. You can see the prices that it went up to above that. 2009, I'm sorry, for a good 900 bucks. So from 2004, 550 to 900. You can see the difference going up to 6,200 for an extremely fine. Over here, 2,500 for an extremely fine. And then as you can see, in the 2011 book, just for a good $1,000 up to extremely fine 6,200. So you can actually see the extremely fine price has remained the same, but the good price has went up $100. So just for an example of, you can use the different books to monitor the rising price of a coin, and I use the example of a 1916 key date mercury dime. I have a 2013 book. It's at my shop. I do have a lot more books at my shop. I have a Canadian book. I have a couple more specific books. I have a more in-depth paper money book. But anyways, the cool part about having more than 1 year of the red book is you can actually go and you can look at yourself the prices of the different coins that have increased in value over the years. And that's with the red book prices. It's really neat to look at what coins have went up in value, how much, and which ones are, really going up. It's pretty cool looking at the different years and seeing, what changed when. Sometimes coins didn't change that much and whatnot. Here's another really awesome book. This is something that, and this is something I wanted to touch on, is like this coin book, for instance. As you can see, it's $54.95 when it was first bought. So that's really expensive. So I was lucky enough to have this book given to me, which I want to go into that story. It's a very important story to me and to my journey through numismatics. But anyways, this is another book that I picked up, and it's another book that's like, 20 bucks. But I was lucky enough to be at an antique store, and he had a few books like this, and I picked them up. They're $2 a piece. And I think that's the way to do it, as you're going through your, looking through the different places of where you can buy your stuff and whatnot, you might actually be able to find some stuff you can get and read for cheaper than paying full price. But paying full price is well worth it as well. If you get it at Barnes & Noble or something, it's well worth it. Here's a couple baseball and basketball books. I have actually quite a bit in that category as well. But anyways, so the different books are really important. You need to learn, get familiar with, the red books. It really helps. Some people disagree with some of the red book pricing, which is why I like to use the later years. But if you learn the different coins that have the different key dates and the rare mintages, it's something that you kind of don't forget. So as you're doing it over time, you'll tend to learn that you learn the different coins that are rare, and it's pretty neat to just be able to see which ones are rare yourself by the lower mintages. The really cool story behind this World Coins book is, I know I've mentioned him before, but my coin mentor that taught me when I first started getting going, Macintosh, actually gave me this book, and it's very nice of him. He actually gave it to me. I'll just give the whole story. I went up to Macintosh. This is how I met him. I went up to his house. I had some foreign coins, and I wanted to trade the foreign coins for American coins, hopefully American silver coins. And he pretty much looked at my coins that I had and politely told me that they were worthless. And he gave me this book. And I knew that this was a $54 book when he gave it to me, you know. And he gave me this book so that I could learn what different foreign coins were rare. And this story really goes hand in hand with the next video I'm going to put up, which deals with building rapport with the different dealers. When he gave me this book, I knew, you know, that it was something meaningful, and that he basically extended me an olive branch to learn. And I went out and I learned, you know, what the different foreign coins were in the area, and then I actually went and did something that he thought was really cool. I actually went to a local antique dealer. It was actually years later the same dealer I ended up trading the gold coins to. He had the gold coins and I traded for them with the Morgans. But anyways, he had a bin of foreign coins. It was like a giant box. It took me a long time to go through the whole box. But basically, it was a whole bin of random foreign coins for 50 cents each. And as it turns out, there was a whole bunch of coins in there that were actually from the 1800s, had some rare numismatic value, or were made out of silver. Because the guy wasn't well versed in foreign coins, he was putting foreign coins in this box and selling them for 50 cents that were made out of silver. Some were partial silver, you know, 60%, 70%, 80%. But a lot of these coins were silver. My wife actually helped me pick all these coins out. It took us quite a bit of time. That's actually where most of this silver came from. This is all silver coins from different countries. I actually got most of these from just digging through that huge box and picking out all the silver coins. Some of this is Canadian stuff that came in through the shop, but the other stuff I picked up at the antique store. And then here's some other stuff that I picked up. As you can see, 40 cents for a Canadian dime, 30 cents for a Canadian dime, you know, about the same prices. And then here's some 50-cent pieces that, because they were 1966, the person selling them didn't realize that they still had silver in them. And I wouldn't have realized that they still had silver in them if I didn't look in the book. I realize American later year 50-cent pieces have 40% silver as well, but I didn't know that the silver stuff did. So I actually got all this silver for really cheap just by having this book. And when I went and told him the story of how I dug through the guy's whole bin and pulled out all the silver, I brought it with me and showed it to him. He was very impressed, and because of that, it built rapport with him. And because of that rapport, you know, he really liked that I used the book and went out and got these coins with it. So he actually gave me this paper money book, and he gave me, I believe, this 2009 book. Because when he gave me this 2002 book, it was actually, I believe, 2008, and they put the red books out a year ahead. And this was, at the time, this was a brand new, fresh book. And I believe it was in 2008 that all this stuff took place. But anyways, so because I went and I found these silver coins and then I shared the story with him, it really impressed him, and he went on to teach me tons of stuff, and I spent hours with him, and he just poured knowledge into me. And when he realized how willing I was to learn, you know, he really wanted to teach me, and he really taught me a lot of stuff. He taught me about different key date coins, he taught me how to grade, he taught me how to package stuff, he taught me how to deal with companies, he taught me about how he felt about credit, and that credit was important, but, you know, not to misuse it, of course. But he taught me everything. He taught me about dealing with the government, he taught me about taxes. He just went through and told me, basically showed me his entire business, which I was just to him, I'm some young kid, and he just took me under his wing and taught me all this stuff. And I truly believe it's because he gave me this book, and I utilized it and went out, and when I showed him I found this silver with it, it just impressed him, and then it was on from there. But anyways, the point is that you can get these readings, and something like this is really fun to look through. I wanted to touch on this. This has stuff from toys like Transformers, to old toys, to vintage stuff, to ceramic stuff, to glass stuff, silverware. It's got everything, furniture, and a lot of this stuff is, yeah, what's the chance you're ever going to find the exact thing? But it's really cool to look at because it gives you an idea of the different stuff people collect. So I mean, you might not find the exact piece that's in one of these books, but it's going to help give you an idea of what people look for. And plus, they're just really fun to look at and read. It tells you the various prices that stuff sold at auction and stuff. I mean, who doesn't like to look at that stuff? But anyways, I think they're really cool. I have a whole bunch of these different kind of books. They're really neat to just look at. But something like this, you just want to go through, and it's huge, and there's just tons of knowledge in here. You can learn all the different silver coins that exist, all the different gold coins that exist. Same with this, you can learn all the low mintages. I don't have my Canada book here, but I have a Canadian book at the shop. It's very important for me living in the US to learn Canadian prices as well, as they're very much in this area. As you can see, I have an example here of a coin that is just a 50-cent piece from 1917, and just by using this book I can tell that they made 752,000 of them, compared to if I had a 1914 they only made 160,000. So you want a 1914 that's going to have some good numismatic value. A 1917 that there's this many made, it's still not that high of a mintage, but you're going to know that it's not going to have as much numismatic value. So that's just a price to go by. The other thing I wanted to show, I thought it was a great example of how to utilize the book. Even if you can't always find the exact price. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go. See, now this book, because it has so many different varieties of coins, so many different countries, it's got hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of countries in this book. A coin like this, it's from the 1800s. It actually doesn't have the exact coin, but that doesn't mean you can't use the book to see here that it's silver and how much silver it has, the content of it, and the weight. So you can still use this coin or this book to figure out that this coin is silver, and then later on you can figure out the exact value of these coins by using a different book or a different method. But still, this book is awesome. Oh yeah, and the other thing is, don't be afraid. You see how big and massive this book is? Well, people have the I don't know, they're afraid to, well, I don't want to bring this big giant book in with me to the antique shop and be looking up each coin because they're going to think something. Don't be afraid to bring your books with you. Bring both of them. Bring all of them. You know, you're a coin collector. They know that a coin collector is going to buy something that they have knowledge of. So don't be afraid to bring your book right in with you while you're digging through the stuff, pulling out the silver, and bring the book right with you and use it. Don't be run out to your car every 2 seconds to check your book. Bring your book right in with you to the coin shop. Do not be afraid to let them know that you're using a book and that you're looking at prices. That's not something to hide. You want them to know that you know what prices are and that you're looking into stuff. So I just want to touch on that. And you can find stuff like this that's just basically in a junk foreign coin box, 50 cents a piece. It's all silver. So alright guys, I hope this kind of helped clear up some things. I'm going to be doing the next video right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and, you know, get some books and get reading, and, you know, find some awesome deals.